has their pencil and ready?
Yeah.
All right. Notice our vocab is a proportion. I want you to circle a couple things here. It's an equation that shows two equivalent, and this says rations. That's a mistake. It should be ratios. What's another word for equivalent?
Rations.
Equal. Okay? Okay, so notice we're going to take two ratios that are equivalent, that are equal to each other, and we're going to put them together. And when we do that, it forms a proportion. Okay? So let's go over to reading math. Who wants to read that for us?
All right. Wait, do that?
Yeah.
Read the proportion 1/2 equals 4 2 4 2 as 2 is to 1 as 4 is to 2.
Okay, so normally when you look at it, it looks like a fraction, right?
Yeah.
So you want to read it as 2 over 1 or 2 once equals 4 halves. But since it's a proportion, I'm going to read this as 2 to 1
And 4 to 2.
as 4 to 2. Saying that 2 over 1 is equal to 4 over 2. So I could also flip it, and I could say 4 over 4 to 2 as 2 to 1. Because they are equivalent. So I can flip-flop them, and it's okay. All right, let's come down, and we're going to do example 1. Okay, so we're going to write a proportion for this model. Notice we have hearts and stars. Okay, we're going to take two different units and we're going to write a proportion with them. So first we're going to write the ratio of hearts to stars. Okay, you should have that written down. Now I'm going to go up and I'm going to count. Number of hearts. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I write that on top. And then I count up my stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's 8. How would I read this? As a ratio. Not 4 eighths.
4 to 8.
Red. Sorry. 4 to 8. Okay? So instead of saying 4 eighths like it was a fraction, it's now a ratio, so I say 4 to 8. So this fraction bar means 2. That's how I read it. Now I'm going to, that's just how it works as ratios. Okay? Next I'm going to separate them into two equal groups. Okay? So I'm going to take them and I'm going to divide up my hearts into two groups and my stars into two groups. And I'm going to make them equal.
Do they have to be equal?
They have to be equal to be a proportion. Otherwise, if they're not equal, they're not a proportion. Excellent question. Okay, so now I'm going to write the ratio of hearts to stars. Okay, so I have my number of hearts in this group is 2, and the number of stars is 4. And now I would read it 2 to 4.
It's a fraction, you're just cutting it in half.
Exactly.
4 is equal to 2 fourths, and 2 fourths is equal to 1/2, so.
This is true. So now I'm going to write my proportion. I take my first ratio, 4 to 8, and it's equal to 2 to 4. And I could also flip it. It does not matter. I could say, oops, I did the exact same one. I could say 2 to 4
Equals 4 to 8.
is 4 to 8, as to 4 to 8. Both of those are the same proportion, and they're a proportion because they are equivalent ratios. Yes.
Is it kind of like when we did ratios and rates and when like we were doing this?
Making equivalent ones? Yes, exactly. We're just building on that. Now, what does this seem similar to that we've already done in the past?
I would ask you to ask them about the thing.
Okay, hold on. What does this seem similar to?
Equivalent fractions.
This is similar to equivalent fractions. They function the same way. Whatever I do to the top, I do to the bottom. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So even though you're now dealing with proportions, you're applying the same type of information that we did to equivalent fractions to making equivalent ratios. Okay? And just notice that now that I have two equivalent ratios, I can form a proportion. Okay? All right, let's turn the page, right? Is it to the next page?
No, you don't
No?
have to look page.
Oh, we're scanning down. Okay. Let's check out example 2. So now they're going to give me some proportions, but they're going to leave off one of the pieces, and I have to figure out what I have to do to make it equivalent. Okay? Now, notice up here I have find the missing value. The missing value is whatever the variable is. I have to figure out what it is. Now, one thing that you can do is you can say, well, what did they do to the 6 to get 18?
6 can go to 18 3 times, so times by 3.
So times by 3, and whatever I do to the top, I do to the bottom. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So n equals 15. Now that worked really slick and handy because they gave me numbers that are easy to work with, and they came out evenly. But guess what? As you get higher into math, they're not always going to be easy to work with, and they're not always going to come out even. So here's another method that we're going to use so that you're ready for those bigger numbers when they come. Okay? And it's called cross products. Okay? So I want you to do this. Okay, so now we have cross products. So what I'm going to do is, it's just like when you cross your heart, okay? So that's what you're doing. So I'm going to go across with my multiplying. So I have 5 times 18. That wasn't 18, right? Yes. 5 times 18 is equal to 6 times n, which is also 6n. Because I know that anytime I go 6 times n, it's the same thing as 6n. Okay? So now that I've done this, I'm now into familiar territory. Do you remember this? I draw my line and I'm ready to solve for n. So I'm going to go to the side that's complete. 5 times 18, what is that? And guess what? I'm going to be letting you use calculators. Or your multiplication chart, if you don't have a calculator.
90. This is the same thing we were doing on 90.
It is, you were right. And if you've been working on your Moby Max, you may have already gotten to this.
No.
Okay?
Yes, I did.
So 5 times 18, what did you get?
90.
90 equals 6n. So now I'm ready to get that n all by itself. How do I get rid of 6 with my 6n?
You have to minus 6n.
No, right now I'm timesing by n. What is the inverse operation?
Division.
Divide by 6. Okay? So I'm going to divide by 6 on both sides. What's 90 divided by 6?
I don't know.
Do your calculator.
30.
29.
45.
Okay, I'm going to do it myself because I have 3 different
30.
numbers.
30.
Okay, 90 divided by 6 is 15. So whoever said that is correct. So now I have 15, and my 6 divided by 6 cancels out, and I have 15 equals n. Okay? Now, you may be saying to yourself, Mrs. Tews, this one was way easier and faster than the cross products.
Yeah.
And that is only because those were easy numbers to work with. If I didn't know what times 6 would equal 18, that would be much more cumbersome. So cross products works way better for this. And are we going to do cross products even though it might take a little bit more math?
Yes.
Yes, because I need you ready to go and train so that when you get to these and they're bigger numbers, you know already what to do. Okay? So let's come down here and we're going to do cross products. Okay? So we're going to do 12 times 3 and n times 9. And before we do that, can we simplify?
Yes.
Okay.
12 times 9.
Now the deal with proportions is that you cannot go across with your simplifying. So that means if I'm going to simplify, I have to keep it, am I simplifying on this side? Am I simplifying on this side? So can I do anything to the 12 and the 9, both of them?
No. Divide by 3.
I could divide both of these by 3. So divide by 3, and this equals 4, and this equals 3.
I can't see any of
Let's get out.
I'll make it a little clearer. And in fact, I'm going to rewrite it down below so I can write it bigger, and then you can see it better. Okay, so here's my cross products that I'm going to do. It kind of looks like a butterfly. Sometimes people call this the butterfly. Okay?
Makes me think of
All right. So
Yeah,
if I divide by 3 here and divide by 3 here, this is going to be a 3, and this is going to be a 4. Okay, so now I'm ready to do my cross multiplying. So I go 4 times 3
12.
is equal to 3 times n. So now I have 12 equals 3n. And how am I going to get my n by itself?
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3, divide by 3. So now I have, these cancel out,
N equals 4.
n equals 4, or 4 equals n, same thing. And we need to box this.
I don't want to do these anymore. I went ahead and did all this, and I got it like.
Okay, all right, here we go, next one.
Now it's harder.
Notice I can simplify these before I do my cross multiplying. I can divide both of these by what?
5.
Not by 5, but I can divide by 4,
Oh, yeah.
right? So this is going to equal 7 to 5. And that's going to make my cross products a lot smaller. So now my butterfly is going to be 7 to 5 and t to 5. So I'm going to have t times 5 equals 7 times 5.
It's just what if you know how it's t over 5? What if it's like t over x, like they're both variables?
Then I would have 2 variables to solve, and that's actually going to happen as you get into higher level math. There will be more than one variable to solve with. Okay? So when I go 5 times t, I have 5t equals 35. Okay, and then how am I going to get my t by itself?
Divide by 5.
Divide by 5, and remember, whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Math is a very fair thing. Whatever you do to the top, you do to the bottom. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other.
T equals 4.
Okay, so you're going to divide those out, and t equals 7.
Yep. 13, 14.
Okay. All right, let's come to this one. I can divide both of these by 6. So that's going to equal 1 over 2. 1 to 2. So now when I do my cross products, I have 1c and 1 times 2. So 1 times 2 is equal to 1c. And when I do this, I go 2 equals c. That one was way fast.
Dang. That was like the easiest.
That was so easy.
I know, right?
It was like 2 steps.
Okay, is there anything that I can simplify? I can't use 6 and 7, and then 30 is over here by itself. So here goes my cross products. I have 30 times 7 equals 6 times b. And make sure your 6 looks different